arriving in the great everything. This is the beginning of a story that hasn't been written yet. Gather yourselves in and perk up your ears, for who knows what you will hear. When our spirit arrives, slipping into the greening coordinates, into the tree of our body, a veil ripples before our eyes, between where we were, where we are, and where we are headed now. Where do we go from here? Here we see, yet we do not see clearly. Shadows hint at visions enshrouded. We know, yet we do not now have full access. We listen, but we do not hear as clear as we long to hear. A bruised longing aches inside of us as we seek that has no language. It comes with animal instincts and a good measure of curiosity and love for beauty. As we grow, we almost always feel there's something more, something hidden in the indigo ink of us. Some of us disruptors feel there is something they didn't tell us about our sudden arrival on the scene of Earth's happening. We who are waking wonder if all of this is on purpose to strengthen us into being, or has it been designed to remove us from our fullness of understanding, blue earthing, and bright belonging? Is there anyone in charge around here? We may not have language for it. We may not have memory of it directly, yet still we are always and ever looking for it, whatever it is. Sometimes we call it soul, soul, soul. We are restless in our whole body for a rainbow to shine forth from our blooming hearts, to reveal the path within and how it leads to a path through the tangles of the wild garden of life. How we long to release the constraints of societal enforced scarcity. We are moving out of exile and into the embrace of grace for those who choose the future we are looking for is here. We are looking for the kind of vision that sees between the gems of the fractal, faceted worlds. We know we are part of intrinsic animist earth, biomic sea-crested shores, hot pink stardust orgasms, and indigo event horizons, emerald green moss-covered stones, mountains with caves inside. We just know we're a part of it, not separate, intricately woven into a gorgeous ecosystem, our home. We strive to find the sunshine-colored feeling that goes along with the knowing of it. That's what we are looking for and have been all this time. It's a feeling of rightness in our bones, of belonging to ourselves, to earth, star, and to one another, to drink the milk from the breast of the Milky Way Ma and declare ourselves loved enough. We want to find our place in the constellation of being and find home here amongst the rocks, rivers, and red roses of the cycles of the day and the patterns of the night. We see in the moon our companion, and in the sun our direction. Inside the hidden self, we seek eagerly, anticipating something. But what? Oh, we are listening now. We are listening for our true name, the one we forgot almost instantly when we took on skin. We strive to make sense of the senseless, of harm, and come up with nothing that makes sense of ideas where owning is the game. We come up with nothing that makes sense of the ideas where owning is the game we are playing. How can anything be owned? We reason with ourselves. We protest and try to protect what ground we think is ours to stand on, to plant in, to sleep under the stars, where no one can hurt us. Yet we know somewhere inside that all belongs to the grace of the great everything. The psalms of our heart uplift the grace of the great everything, our source. Must we always be seeking safety? Is this part of the way to develop? Is this evolution in process? Is there another way? Might we say yes to a guardianship where we know the value of the great everything is already sacred and precious, that we are part of the everything and have relevance in the great unfolding and the turning of the great wheel of the year? May we be in rhythm with creation as co-creators, creating in love. We struggle to navigate the DNA origins we landed within, the gender specificity, the family of seeming destiny. We strive towards a freedom of identity, agency, and determination. We rarely see exhibited this freedom anywhere. Yet the soul whispers of this freedom of being, craves the belonging of being woven with owl, eagle, ruby-breasted hummingbird, and raven calling in the giant oak. Oh, dear ones, we watch as the colorful stretch of fabric spreads over the skin of our lives, jubilant, despairing, and sitting on the front porch, wondering, if I remember who I am, will all of this make sense? Will my soul song return to my lips? What is the way to remembering? Will the art I make with my life reflect truly my inner world? My many worlds that seek expression, seek for exit and entrance into being, into companionship with you. Will I find self-expression this lifetime that is true? What is true? Am I true? Can I be true? To me, to you, to earth, to star, to ma, to pa, to sensation. I want to be true to the sensuality my body aches for. We make up all kinds of stories to place ourselves within the creation of things, into the timeline of mind, looking for the one who designs the day and calls forth the night. We try to name the great ones, and then even their names fall away one day, and we are left in awe of forest and sea and the idea that there is a me at all. We move from being the center to being the edge and back again. It's a journey. If remembering was that easy, all the cool kids would be doing it, instead of just the few who recall the way the stones have been laid just so and erected to illuminate so that the sun rises between them. We want to remember the way we used to breathe underwater with scaled skin and feathered breast did fly, or the way we are truly friends with the honeybee, the rattlesnake shake, the orchid bloom, the dragonfly flutter, the tiger growl, the reindeer path, the buffalo dance, the auroch leap. These are our kin. You remember, don't you? Do you feel the stirring? Have we sat up all night waiting? How we celebrated the rising of Sirius? How we traced a star map with fingertips pointing to the little ones to connect the dots in the sky with our big why of being. Here, now, and the never unanswerable how. How did we get here? What did we rise from? Mud, star, cell, heat? Let us move into the feeling of remembering and of honoring ancestral evolution that made this life come into being. We bow, ancestors. Thank you. To remember, when it doesn't come easy, there must be a sacred rite to initiate, to facilitate a cascade of possibility, leading to memory and summoning the potential of arriving in destiny. To know what you know in the bone house of being. You cannot just think it, dream it, or request it. You must feel it all at once, all at the same time, to think, to dream, to request, and then to act and form, participating in the sacred orgasm that began 13+ billion years ago, catalyzing particles to waves and watching in shimmers in between the phases as our codes reveal them to ourselves, to you, through you. Soul is a noun, a place, a space. Soul is a verb, a motion, a cascade. I have heard there are many ways to know you are home deep in your bones. The paths, they say, are many and perilous, but worth the entrance into the scar clans. We run with wolves and remember. We know a way. We know a way here. We want to share it with you. A journey that summons the frequency, that invites the fullness of your glory to come into the awareness of being. I will meet you here. Yes, soon. How about now? I have been waiting for you, specifically, gorgeously, uniquely, innately, you. Perhaps we agreed to meet here in the center of an ancient future story. There are many of us gathering. Look, here is my hand. See it? My hand is extended in kinship. My hand is extended in kinship. Through salty tears I offer my hand for the journey. I will walk with you. We will no longer be alone. This love we seek and feel and express is not temporary. It is eternal. And in this surety, we shall proceed homeward through the portal in our sense of place and ceremony. Beloved, let's begin with the fabric of our senses of place. Sense of place is our orientation in space. The soul space itself, our coordinates, our cosmic address that occupies us before we came forth. Then the sense of place of the dark womb of our matricy Ma. Then when we are born, our earthy home, where we are now and where we lay our head with honor and respect to the original caretaker ancestors of whom we once were and are now becoming. Our sense of place, our body temple, our bone house of being, and the precious awareness of inhabiting, shaping, and curating our emergent identity. Nothing about identity is fixed in place. All is fluid and in motion, arising simultaneously and deliciously, and especially when you agree and say yes to an adventure in the ancient future story we together are telling. Arrive here, beloved, in the sense of place called the quantum commons in community. This is sacred ground. Are you ready? Let us gather ourselves from all the lands and together clasp one another's hands in joy. We dance as the sun rises. The struggle has been long. Oh, the celebration is even longer. Let us dance. Let us gather ourselves